The confidence trick nobody tells you about. Why do some people walk into a room and everyone just notices them? They're not the loudest. They're not showing off. They're not even trying to impress anyone. But something about them is magnetic. Unshakable. Almost dangerous. Here's what I realized after reading this book on building what the author calls dangerous confidence, and it completely flipped everything I thought I knew about self-belief. See, I always thought confidence was about feeling good about yourself. About positive self-talk. About faking it till you make it. But this book argues something radically different. True confidence isn't about what you project outward. It's about what no longer controls you. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly how to build that kind of presence. The kind that doesn't need applause, doesn't fear rejection, and doesn't bend to every opinion. Let's break it down. How many times this week did you launch into a 5-minute explanation for something that didn't need one? You were late to a meeting. Instead of just saying, "Thanks for waiting," you rambled about traffic, your alarm, your phone dying. The book makes a powerful point here. Every unnecessary explanation is a silent confession. It says, "I need your approval to feel okay about my choices." Think about how different it feels when someone says, "I chose this because it's right for me," and then just stops. No backpedaling, no apologizing, just calm certainty. That's confidence. The book challenges you to catch yourself this week. The moment you start piling on excuses, stop. Replace them with something simple and direct. "I can't make it. That doesn't work for me." And then, silence. Let the silence carry the weight. It feels uncomfortable at first. You'll feel that urge to fill the space, to justify, to soften your words. But here's what happens when you practice this. People start taking you more seriously. And more importantly, you start taking yourself more seriously. But here's what really got me thinking. The book says the voice that matters most isn't the one coming from other people. It's the one inside your own head. That inner voice? It's either your greatest weapon or your biggest enemy. If your internal dialogue constantly whispers, "I'm not good enough, I always mess things up, people are probably judging me," how do you think you'll show up when you walk into a room? Nervous, hesitant, small. But if that same voice says, "I can handle this. I've done harder things before. I'm exactly where I need to be," you walk into the same room taller, calmer, sharper. Same person, different voice. And that difference changes everything. Here's the secret the book reveals. Your brain believes repetition. Whatever you tell yourself over and over becomes your truth. Say you're weak long enough, and you'll shrink into weakness. Say you're capable, strong, and calm long enough, and you'll rise to meet those words. The book suggests a 30-day challenge. Every morning, say 3 things out loud. "I respect myself. I can handle anything that comes today. I don't need anyone's approval to move forward." It feels awkward at first. But do it every day and watch how your energy shifts. Watch how you walk into situations differently. Now, here's where things get interesting. Most people think confidence comes first, and then self-respect follows. The book flips this completely. You cannot feel powerful if you don't respect yourself first. Respect is the foundation. Without it, confidence is just an act, a mask you wear to convince others while deep down, you're still unsure. Think about how you treat people you respect. You listen to them. You value their time. You trust their decisions. Now ask yourself honestly, do you treat yourself the same way? Or do you cut yourself down with criticism? Ignore your own needs? Allow people to cross your boundaries because deep down, you don't see yourself as worthy? The book argues that self-respect doesn't come from big achievements. It comes from small daily choices that tell your mind, "I matter." Keeping promises to yourself. Following through when you say you'll do something. Not settling for situations that go against your values. When you wake up early because you said you would, that's respect. When you walk away from a toxic conversation instead of trying to win approval, that's respect. When you set a boundary and actually hold it, that's respect. Each of these choices builds something inside you. And once you trust yourself, confidence flows naturally. But here's the trap most people fall into. The constant need for approval. You know what I mean? That itch that asks, do they like me? Do they agree with me? Am I good enough in their eyes? It's subtle, but it controls so many lives. People dress not for themselves but for what others might say. They post on social media not to share but to be validated. They chase compliments, avoid criticism, and feel crushed when someone doesn't clap for them. Here's the problem. When your confidence depends on approval, it will always be fragile. Because approval can be given and approval can be taken away. The book puts it bluntly. No one in this world owes you approval. And no one's opinion should have the power to define you. Think about the people you admire most. Are they the ones who try to please everyone? Or are they the ones who stand firm even when people disagree? It's always the second group. Because real strength isn't in being liked by all. It's in being respected for standing true. When you kill the need for approval, something powerful happens. At first, some people won't like it. They might call you arrogant or selfish. But stay steady. Because in time, those same people will respect you more than they ever did when you were bending for their acceptance. Why? Because people may enjoy it when you seek their approval. But they admire it when you don't need it. Now, this next idea surprised me. One of the greatest signs of confidence isn't how loud you can be. It's how quiet you can remain. Most people think strength is about having the last word, showing everyone how smart they are. But the book argues true strength is often the opposite. When people expect a reaction and you give them nothing, they don't know how to handle it. They push and you don't move. They attack and you stay steady. That's what makes silence so powerful. It shows you're not easily shaken. You can't be manipulated. Imagine someone trying to provoke you. They insult you in front of others, expecting you to blow up. Most people would take the bait. But if you stay calm, if you look at them and simply choose silence, suddenly the spotlight shifts. They look foolish, not you. Why? Because you've shown their words didn't penetrate. You're in control. There's another layer here. Silence makes your words stronger when you finally choose to speak. If you speak less but with calm authority, people listen. They know you don't waste words. So the next time someone tries to pull you into their drama, remember this. Silence is your shield. Silence is your strength. Silence is your power. But confidence isn't just about what you say or don't say. Before you ever open your mouth, your body is already telling the world who you are. People see how you walk, how you stand, how you look at them. And in just a few seconds, they've formed an opinion. Here's the truth. If your words and body language don't match, people will always believe your body. You can say, I'm confident, but if you're slouched over, avoiding eye contact, fidgeting with your hands, nobody buys it. The book explains that your body actually trains your mind. If you sit small, you feel small. But if you stand tall, if you expand your posture, if you move with purpose, your mind receives the message, I am strong. I am steady. I belong here. Here's a practical tip. The next time you walk into a room, pause at the doorway. Take one calm breath. Straighten your posture. Roll your shoulders back. Lift your head slightly. And then walk in at a steady pace. No rush. Just presence. That single adjustment changes how people see you, and how you see yourself. Now here's something that shifted my whole perspective. Most people live in reaction mode. Something happens and they respond. Someone criticizes them and they defend themselves. Someone disrespects them and they snap back. That's not confidence. That's dependency. The book explains that when you react to everything, people learn how to control you. They push your buttons and you respond right on cue. But when you stop reacting, when you stay calm and steady, suddenly those same people lose their grip. The person who reacts is always one step behind. But the person who leads, they set the tone. They don't wait to see what happens before they act. They create what happens. Leadership doesn't mean leading others. It starts with leading yourself. Choosing your actions instead of letting them be chosen for you. So how do you shift from reacting to letting? Slow down. Don't give your emotions the driver's seat. Pause before you respond. Ask yourself, what outcome do I want here? And how can I create it? That 1 second of thought can completely change your direction. Here's something uncomfortable but true. Confidence is not built in comfort. It's built in the uncomfortable places most people try to avoid. The moments that made you stronger were never the easy ones. They were the ones where you felt nervous, unprepared, maybe even afraid, but you stepped forward anyway. The book makes this clear. If you always choose comfort, you never expand. You stay the same. You play small. And deep down, you know it. Confidence isn't about telling yourself you're strong. It's about putting yourself in situations that show you that you are. The gym teaches this well. If you only lift what's easy, you never build muscle. The growth happens when you pick up something heavy. When your body shakes. When you feel the strain. Life works the same way. Your mental and emotional muscles only grow under resistance. So the next time you feel fear creeping in, reframe it. Instead of, I don't want to feel this, tell yourself, this is where I get stronger. Now let's talk about rejection. Just the word makes most people uncomfortable. Nobody likes hearing no, but here's what the book reveals. Rejection is one of the most powerful tools for building confidence, if you learn how to use it. The difference between people who crumble under rejection and people who rise from it is simple. Perspective. Most people take rejection personally. They hear no and think, I'm not good enough. But the book reframes this completely. Rejection isn't the end of your path. It's the sharpening stone for your confidence. Think about this. Some of the most successful people faced rejection over and over. Authors had books turned down dozens of times before becoming bestsellers. Entrepreneurs had ideas laughed at before building empires. The rejection didn't destroy them. It built them. So instead of asking, why me, start asking, what can I take from this? Every no brings you closer to the right yes. Every door that closes forces you to find a better door. The person who is no longer afraid of rejection? Unstoppable. Here's an idea that might feel counterintuitive. One of the strongest moves you'll ever make is learning to let go of the outcome. Most people tie their entire sense of worth to results. If things go well, they feel good. If things fall apart, they feel broken. But when you detach from outcomes, something changes. You stop obsessing about whether people will like it, accept it, or applaud it. You give your best effort and let the results take care of themselves. Here's a powerful truth. The more you cling, the weaker you feel. But the moment you let go, the moment you say, whatever happens, I'll be fine, you gain strength. Ironically, that's usually when you perform your best. Because you're no longer strangled by fear of the result. Now let's talk about boundaries. Confidence isn't only about how you carry yourself in public. It's also about how you protect yourself in private. People will always take as much as you allow. If you give unlimited time, they'll take it. If you never say no, they'll expect yes forever. The book is clear on this. Saying no doesn't make you selfish. It makes you strong. And here's the key. You don't need to justify your boundaries. No is a complete sentence. That doesn't work for me. Short, calm, unapologetic. At first, setting boundaries feels uncomfortable. You'll feel guilty. But over time, something shifts. People actually respect you more. They learn to take you seriously. And the right people? They'll honor your boundaries. It's the wrong people, the ones who want to take advantage, who get upset. So when someone gets angry at your boundary, take it as confirmation that the boundary was necessary. Now, here's the real test. Confidence isn't truly tested when things are going well. Anyone can look composed when life is smooth. The real measure is how you carry yourself when chaos strikes. Most people fall apart. They rush. They panic. They overreact. But the ones who stand out? They stay calm. They slow down when everyone else speeds up. They breathe when everyone else holds their breath. That calmness is rare. And that's what makes it powerful. The book explains that chaos itself doesn't break people. Their reaction to chaos does. So when the storm comes, pause. Breathe. Slow down. Anchor yourself. Decide in that moment that you will not be another panicked voice. You will be the calm in the room. But confidence isn't magic. It doesn't appear out of thin air. Real lasting confidence is built on competence. When you've trained yourself until a skill becomes second nature, you stop hoping you're good enough and start knowing you are. Most people want confidence without putting in the reps. They want to feel certain before they've earned certainty. But it doesn't work that way. Skill builds belief. Every time you show up, every time you practice, every time you push through mistakes, you carve confidence into your bones. No one can take away what you've trained for. Compliments fade. Approval vanishes. But skill? That stays with you. And finally, the ultimate level. The book calls this, living as if you need nothing. Not because you don't enjoy success or relationships, but because you're not dependent on them. Most people live in constant need. They need approval to feel secure. They need attention to feel important. And because they need, they chase. But imagine walking through life without that hunger for validation. Imagine having relationships built on choice, not desperation. When you move as if you already have everything you need within yourself, you cannot be controlled. You cannot be bribed. You cannot be broken. This is the mindset of the strongest people. They enjoy success but aren't enslaved by it. Their confidence flows from within. Now here's my honest take on all this. I love most of what this book teaches. The idea that confidence comes from self-respect, not approval? Powerful. The emphasis on silence and composure? Game-changing. But here's where I'd push back a little. The book sometimes makes it sound like you should need nothing and no one. And while I understand the point, don't be dependent, I think there's a danger in taking this too far. We're human. Connection matters. Vulnerability matters. The goal isn't to become an emotional fortress that nothing penetrates. The goal is to be strong enough that you can choose what affects you. There's a difference between, I don't need anyone's approval, and, I don't care about anyone. The first is freedom. The second is isolation. So take the principles here, but keep your humanity. Be confident and be connected. Be strong and be kind. Here's what you can start doing today. First, catch yourself over-explaining and stop. Practice short, direct responses. Second, start your mornings with 3 affirmations about your own worth. Out loud. Third, identify one area where you need a boundary. Set it this week. Fourth, the next time someone tries to provoke you, choose silence. See what happens. Fifth, do one uncomfortable thing this week. Something that stretches you just beyond your comfort zone. Now I want to hear from you. What's one situation where you struggle to stay confident? Is it at work? In relationships? When facing criticism? Drop it in the comments. Let's talk about it. And if you want more videos breaking down ideas that can genuinely change how you move through the world, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.